How's it going, everybody? It's Jace out here trying to do a little video. Believe it or not, this is probably like take 3 or 4. But I'm at a local park, and I just want to talk a little bit about something that I feel is very important to everyone, and that, of course, is the ability to have first aid. In most cases, most situations, I believe you're probably going to be your own first responder, right? You need to be able to have things from anything from like a boo-boo to laceration, a cut, anything that gives you time to get to first aid, to get to a hospital, to have actual first responders come out and actually perform first aid on you. Now, I did a lot of research, looked everywhere, online and everything, and you can always buy kits that are pre-made, and then you always have the option of making your own kit. And one of the things that I toyed with was making my own kit, because a lot of times the kits that you buy, they're not that good. The products that come inside of them are somewhat lackluster, and a lot of times, to be honest with you, it's lacking in certain ways. So I wanted to be able to build my own, but then as I was researching, everything was expensive, everything cost too much. And when you're a dad on a budget, you're trying to budget for a lot of these things, and obviously first aid is an important thing, but you don't want to pay up the yin yang for a lot of these products. So in my quest, what I did was, as I was scrolling through social media, I saw this company called MyMedic. So I started doing a little bit of research on them. Let me adjust here real quick. I started doing a little bit of research on them, and I started noticing that a lot of the products that they have, actually really good products. They're reasonably priced. Everything that comes with them, or everything that comes inside of them, is quality products and things that you're going to need, or things that you might not need, but it's better for you to have. So one of the big things that drew me to them was the fact that they are FHA and FSA approved. Basically, what those are, if you don't know, they're flexible spending accounts, and flexible spending accounts, and then I forgot what the other one is. But basically what it is, it's money that comes out of your paycheck, or that the company contributes, and it's tax-free, and you can use for any medical needs, right? Doctor's appointments, or emergency room, or outpatient surgeries, depending on how your insurance is kind of structured. So once I found out, I pulled the trigger, to be honest with you. I had a card that I always front loaded about $2,000, because I have kids. So, I always loaded it with $2,000, because you never know, dentist appointments or doctors, or just in case of an emergency or something like that. I had money there, tax-free, and I was able to use it. So it was great. It turned out really great. I don't want to say that I went crazy, but I did kind of go a little nuts, because once I realized that I can use it, I definitely use it. Now, some of the kits that I have, I'll show you. This kit that's in here is a hiker kit, but it didn't come with this pouch. I ordered that pouch separately. And then what I have here is my own IFAC, or my individual first aid kit. And then I have a trauma kit, which is this one, right? So these three are the ones that generally, for the most part, come with me anywhere I go. So I want to show you guys what these are. Now, as you can see, it is laser moly. It does have the loop for the hook and loop for Velcro, and it is, of course, attachable to the exterior of any type of pack or pouch or battle belt or wherever, which makes these things great. So like I said, I have 2 of these that I always carry no matter what. They're in my bag. And then I have one that no matter what stays in the car. The contents on this is a hiker content bag or kit that they actually sell, but it comes in a lightweight bag, like a Ziploc type bag, which is great for hikers. If you don't want to add weight of this, then you have it there. I have it. I decided to put it in this because it was going to live in my car. This is the one that I always have in my car. So give me a second and I'll bring you guys in and I'll show you guys what I have. So I'm going to show you guys this one. This one is the one that I have that I considered more of a trauma kit, right? So as you can see, it has a tourniquet here, as well as, if I take this out, I'll show. So it has two chest seals, a tourniquet. Now I know that a lot of people out there are going to say, that's not the best tourniquet and so on and so on. I get you. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. But to be honest with you, the best tourniquet that you're going to have is going to be the one you have on you at the moment and not the one you have sitting in your drawer or in your car. So, it's better to have something as opposed to having nothing. So, tourniquet there. And then every one of these kits comes with a first aid and survival stay alive guide. It does have a QR code so you can download it. But these kits all have what I love about them is the modularity. Is that I can actually fill them in with things that I need, or if they're lacking on one thing, I can always add to another. So it came with one of these markers to be able to mark your timestamp on the tourniquet. Of course, it came with one pack of gloves, but I decided to put another one. And then I bought this. I think when I ordered, it came with some of this friction frosting. Essentially, it's to avoid any type of like friction burns when you're walking too much or something like that. You know how everybody hates that. And then I added an extra pair of gloves on there myself. And then of course it comes with bleeding control dressing, quick clot, and then an Israeli type bandage. It's a 4-inch emergency pressure bandage. So, which again, great. Everything that's in each one of these is sterile, and it's sealed. It's vacuum sealed. It's not going anywhere. So when you need to deploy it, it's ready to go. So this is the trauma kit that I have. That again, like I said, goes with me everywhere. Anywhere my backpack is, or anywhere I decide to take my backpack, all of this comes with me. So I never leave this behind on long trips. This is, again, like I said, this is the one that I say is the trauma one, right? So then the other one here is my IFAC. This is my individual, what I would consider my individual IFAC. So in this one, what I have is, I like the size of it. I like that it's a smaller size. And of course it does have the MOLLE attachments here, but this is also something that has Velcro on the back for quick release. And it does have a strap that you can either strap as a waist or you can put it around your chest. But it's something that's modular, something that's mobile. So what I have in this one, it's a little bit more of the same, right? A lot of the stuff is going to be redundant, but it's going to depend on what you have. So with this one, it does have, again, first aid and survival stay alive guide. That comes with every one of them. Pair of gloves. Got some band-aids here, or for blisters. Each one of these are mods, and it will tell you what they are and how much of them there are in there, right? So if you're walking a lot, you get blisters. This has a space blanket, which is awesome. These super skin bleeds. This is basically everything that you need for a little poo-poo kit, right? So you got your antiseptic ointment, your Band-Aid, you have a towelette, like an alcohol prep pad or a disinfected towelette, and then you have gauze. So everything is all in one little package that is, of course, Ziploc. So you can, that way, if you're out somewhere walking around, you can pack everything back in there and then throw it away if needed, right? Now, one thing that I added on this were some hemostats. Again, this is modular, so it goes with you everywhere. So this would probably make more sense in my hiker packed than anything, but I just threw them in there. And then a couple of different types of tweezers. You never know. You get a splinter or something, or you need to grab something. Tweezers are always a good thing. Then I have the bleed stop. And a lot of this stuff gives you great instructions on how to use it, and then it gives you an expiration date of when you might need to get it replaced if you haven't used it. So this is all what's in there. So you get 2 of these, and then a compression gauze, right? Again, vacuum insulated and ready to deploy. So this is what I would consider my IFAC, or my individual first aid kit. If you don't know what IFAC stands for, that's what it is. It's individual first aid kit. Anywho, this is on one side of it. This is what I carry. And like I said, it's great stuff. I feel like the quality of this is actually really decent compared to a lot of stuff that I've seen out in the market. So like, and again, this is coming from somebody who I'm not a professional. I'm not a first responder. I've had first aid training myself, but when I take a look at the quality of this, especially when it comes to these Band-Aids, I use them. I actually use them. My kids get cuts and scrapes and stuff like that, and I even get cuts and scrapes, and it works great. It's great to have in a pinch, because I can toss these. You can buy like a good amount of these, and you can have them everywhere in your glove compartment in your car, in your backpack. You slip them in there, stuff like that. So then on the other side of this, you have burn gel. You have topical ointments. So it gives you a list of what's all included in that. You can tell that I've gone into this. I've torn it open. I've gone into this. Another Sharpie or mini Sharpie. And then you have a medication. Once again, I've used it. This came in handy for ibuprofen and things like that. You have some hydration here, and then you have some zips. So these are great for lacerations or cuts or whatever. Obviously, if you're not going to suture your own hand, or have a suture kit, which this company, MyMedic, actually does supply a wound closure kit. You can actually get one through them. But that's all in here. The only thing that this one does not have is a tourniquet. But that's only because I took it out of here and put it on the side of my pouch, my backpack. And then that's for quick deployment. That's basically all it is. It's just so that I can have for quick deployment. But you can make a tourniquet out of anything if you can tie it tight. All right, so this goes back together, snaps in place, and it's ready to go. So then the next one that I have here, this is going to be my, this is the hiker one that I got, but I bought the pouch separately through the same company. Nothing has changed. Everything is still through the company. It's just a bigger version of this, which has the Velcro tear out. So if you have this attached to your car, you need to tear this out quickly. You got it. But this has a slightly more things in it. And again, it's modular. I specifically got this size because if I wanted to add a little bit more, I have the room to do it. But this one is great. As you can see, I don't have anything here right now. I need to restock it with some Band-Aids or bleeder stoppers, right? It's what the company calls is like for cuts and such. So I need to restock that. So another space blanket. These were from another kit that I had, and I just threw them in here because they're great ways to be able to save those safety pins. It came with a whistle, right, for search and rescue. I put a little bit of a roll of self-adhesive bandage there. Another space blanket that I probably is overkill, but this is from another kit and it's still in good condition and it's plastic, so I decided to keep it. And then, these are like alcohol wipes or sting relief and bug relief ointments and stuff like that. So in case you get stung by a bee or mosquitoes or whatever, you have some stuff to take care of that. More of the same here with the medication mod with the ibuprofen, fever reducer, aspirin, and stuff like that. Love it. 3 sets of gloves in here. This one, I ended up getting a different type of tourniquet for this one, right? So this is something that you guys are a little bit more familiar with, these type of tourniquets. I wanted to have, uh, this as another option, or the other one as the other option if this is going to be a primary one to use. Again, you should always get training for a lot of this stuff, just mainly because you want to know where to place the tourniquets, how to place them, and so on and so on. You want to have some technique to it. I have some DEET here for mosquitoes, right? This is from another kit that I had, but I decided to throw it in here because, again, this is for hiking. More hydration. This gives you electrolytes, blister and chafing, sun exposure. This, I need to take it and put it on the other side, but this is a first aid. This was from I believe, a first aid kit from an REI kit that I had a long, long time ago, but it gives you great information on wilderness first aid. It gives you information on nosebleeds, spiders, the type of spiders, how to identify them, how to wrap bandages, splint, things like that. So this is great. Always having a little bit of knowledge is always great. And then you have, of course, Superwash. So this is basically like a wound and eye wash solution. So I got that. It didn't come with the kit. I ordered that separately because I wanted to be able to have something to in case I'm in the wilderness or outdoors or something. Actually, I don't think it came with the kit. I think I did order that separately. But I wanted to be able to have a way to be able to wash my wounds in the event that I was, that I have a cut or a laceration or something from being outdoors. I don't want to catch an infection while I'm out there, and I definitely don't want to wash it in the river. So, but as you can see, these are designed to be able to add or take away, as you see fit. You can add more, you can take stuff away. Like having this is probably overkill, and I can use this pocket for something else, which I'll probably end up doing, is I'll probably end up using it for something else. And then now that we're talking, I'll give a perfect example here. So see these kits, right? So you can easily just put these in here and good to go, right? And close this back up. And then this is ready to go whenever I need it in my car for emergencies. So I combined a little bit of a trauma thing in emergencies. That's why these two are always with me, and why this one is always living in the car, just mainly because I wanted to combine a little bit of, have a combination of trauma preparedness, as well as just wilderness preparedness, as well as just your basic cuts, basic boo-boo stuff, right? So that's essentially what I wanted to do when it came to this. Let me turn this around. So if you guys can understand why or how this is important to me, it should be important to everybody. Being able to have decent first aid kit for anything is always great. And because I never go anywhere without my bags, everything's always in here. All right, so got my IFAC, got my trauma, tripod, mics, and then hiking. All in one easy to fit bag. So this is what I use, or what I have with me no matter what. Again, it's always on my pack if I know I'm going to take longer trips. Anything more than 30 minutes, I usually tend to put my bag. I tend to put it in my bag. Anything under that, I have, supplies in my car. It's always great to put a lot of this stuff in every place, just to make sure that you can find it, and just to make sure that you can actually use it. So, in closing, it's something that everyone should be, aware of. You guys should always make preparations for first aid. You guys should always have stuff just as a preparedness, everything from little boo-boos to trauma stuff. But having it is one thing, training on how to use it is another. You also want to make sure you have training. There's a lot of instructional videos on YouTube that you can use that they can actually show you how to use this. So in short, you definitely want to have some type of first aid kit. You want to be able to have things in an emergency. You want to be able to have things in your car, on your person, with you no matter what. You want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm safe. I'm good. I have basic first aid needs here with me. And, the way you organize it in your car is however you want to organize it in your car. I prefer to have a couple of them in my bag, one permanently in my car, and I have one at home. And it's actually a pretty big one. That one I did get in the red color. I'll show you guys more of that, once I'm ready to show you guys that. Once that video is ready, or once I start doing it, because that one actually has a lot more. So what you want to always do is you always want to remember, being safe and having first aid is a fundamental thing, right? You want to be able to take care of any scrapes or cuts, however minor they are. You don't want it to lead into a bigger problem. You also want to take care of anything big, lacerations, cuts, broken something or other. No matter what, you want to be ready for it, and at least have some common knowledge on it. So I'm going to pack everything up, get ready to go back home, right? In the meantime, you guys be safe, be good to each other, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.